Hey guys, it's Danny. It's very early morning. What you see outside is just the lack of light. So I thought, why don't we do an update today? It's the weekend, let's take it easy. On my latest update video, you guys requested quite a few orchids for me to show you, so that's what we're gonna do today. Before we start though, let's talk about the Cymbidiums. I talked about them actually for the past 6 months, but I didn't actually make a dedicated video for them, and I think I talked mostly in the outros. I'm not entirely sure, and I know that most of you don't watch the outros, so let's get this out of the way. The Cymbidiums are gone. I actually lost them last summer when I went on vacation. It was right when I was kind of quitting smoking and I was just a mess. And whatever I left on the terrace got scorched, including other plants. Nobody actually watered them, nobody came here to water them. They were unsavable really, but I do have a Cymbidium that I purchased this year. It's this guy. He has kind of orange browny colors and I'm hoping to do better with this guy, but yeah, he's fresh. He's not one of the old Cymbidiums. The old Cymbidiums are gone. And yeah, for those of you who were asking, who missed the outros or whenever I talked about it, they're gone sadly. So that's the story with the Cymbidiums. Now let's see the comments and take a look at the orchids. But before we go ahead and do that, we need to get to an orchid that I know somebody requested to see, which is back there. I actually wanted to show you my new Vanda stand. Look at that. I changed my Vanda stand because I found this one which has 2 bars and I can hang my Vandas on the 2 bars. Now you might say, but Danny, you didn't really arrange it properly. That bar is kind of empty. What are you doing? Well, the problem is some hooks are not big enough to fit the bar. So I'm kind of in a process to move my Vandas to the baskets as well because they just look prettier, and this year I'm focused on pretty stuff and prettifying the greenhouse. Since I'm not stressed about the medium and burned roots and all of those things anymore, I'm working on just beautifying stuff, if you want to call it like that. And yeah, sadly those hooks don't fit. I just need to find the time of day to actually build some more baskets of the sorts. I know exactly how I'm going to arrange them, I just need time. I need the day to be twice as long. And I know you're wondering, where's the Sanderiana? She's there. She's just so big and I was always messing up the flowers on the stand because it's crowded at the moment, it's not arranged, so I just moved her up there. Alrighty, so behind that stand is actually the orchid I want to get to. And you can see a sneak peek of that there. She's actually well behind the stand, but because of the perspective you cannot really see. I do have a chair, an IKEA stool that holds 2 orchids, which are super tall and that require quite a lot of light, so I keep them there. This is the Dendrobium amethystoglossum. I'm gonna get him out of there. We're gonna take a look at him. Somebody asked me about him, so let's see how he's doing. And here he is. He does have quite a few flower spikes. But I noticed he does not want to bloom on new canes. I think this is the type of Dendrobium which blooms on very old canes. This cane, I think it's about 3 years old. It came with this cane, it grew for Anna Maria, and then it grew 2 other smaller canes for Anna Maria, these ones, and then it arrived to me and it grew some other canes here, which are still not very tall, but they're better. And he doesn't want to bloom on the new canes, only the older canes. So I'm thinking this orchid will rebloom over and over and over again, depending how many canes it has. The more old canes, the better. He's not a shower though. All of the leaves, they're not very showy. They have this tendency to just die back. He arrived like that. I thought it was a sort of deficiency or a problem, but no, he continued the pattern. So either he has a little genetical thingy, either it is actually a sort of a disease. It doesn't seem to spread to anything, so I won't bother way too much with it because the leaves do have the tendency to fall anyway. He's a sort of semi-deciduous orchid and he blooms, so that's okay. He's just not very appealing. So I'll try to look more into it, see if indeed it's a sort of genetical predisposition to something or if this guy has a problem. I'm thinking this one has a problem, but he's blooming, he's growing quite vigorous, so I'm okay. Next up, you wanted to see the Angraecums, and here's my big boy. Here's the Veitchii right here in a very bright corner next to the Vandas. He's doing great, he just needs a shower as you can see, but I cannot really shower him until temperatures outside get warm pretty constantly, so it's okay, he can stay dusty for a little while longer. So this guy, he's growing roots like crazy. We have quite a lot of them in the back and you can see one there. I'll take you in the back as well. So he's doing great. He just didn't bloom, but he created another, I think, flower spike. Okay, so last year he grew this thing and I was like, oh my goodness, my first Angraecum flowers. No, it refused to develop further. This year he's growing this one, which is still growing as far as I can tell. And yet again, I'm not sure what he's on about that. He doesn't want to bloom just yet, and I'm not entirely sure if it's a cultural thing or just that he has to kind of regain his balance. This guy got severely sunburned. I sunburned him the first time that I tried my orchids outside because I thought, hey, it's nice, it's a tropical island here, I can keep my orchids outside. Nope. Bad idea. I burned my Vandas and my Angraecum, but he's pulling through. He looks pretty great. And he is growing quite a lot of roots, and we have one which is just resting on the chair because it missed the pot, but it's okay, I want to repot this guy anyway. And next here's my Sesquipedale. I'm so proud of this guy. Didn't bloom, but it's okay. Again, he was one of those recovering orchids. Look at the leaf he created last year. Now this is how the Sesquipedale should look like. This is how big he should be. So I can understand why no blooms this year, but you know, that's okay. He's taking to semi-hydro very well. He's producing roots. And ever since I know myself with Angraecums, I keep saying that they're thirsty, they want water. So I'm really not surprised he's actually doing well in semi-hydro. So yeah, finally he's getting a good life. And PS, I know there will be comments saying, you know, you should adjust orchids when you put them in the sun. I think I was the very first one who ever made a video about it. Yes, I know. I told you to do that because I experienced it. I burned my first Cattleya a few days after I purchased it, 1 month after I opened my channel. I know. Problem is, no matter how much you adjust an orchid to this type of climate, when you have 40 or 45 degrees Celsius during daytime and some sunshine, it doesn't matter if you introduce an orchid gradually to light. It doesn't matter if it's morning or afternoon. It matters that it will burn. It will burn at 9 o'clock in the morning, trust me. And as we discovered in Angraecums, no. Vandas, no. The only thing that didn't burn, to be fully honest, is the plumeria. I still have the plumeria ever since last year. Everything else just scorched. So either I install shade cloth, which I can't on my terrace, either I just grow stuff that can handle the sun. Orchids, nope, it's not gonna happen. I thought about it, it's not gonna happen. I don't wanna have to deal with all sorts of insects, all sorts of drama with the sun, shade them, put them in the shade, but wait, where's the sun? They don't have any more light now because they sit in the shade and they don't grow nicely. No, everybody will sit in the greenhouse, on the terrace, I shall have my veggies and stuff, and that is that. Next up, we have the Apicattleya René Marquez. My viewer Priscilla was saying something very interesting about her René Marquez. So she was saying that she didn't cut the flower spike, and this year the orchid is reblooming again from this place. And she asked me if I knew if these orchids were sequential bloomers. No, actually, I was under the impression that they were not. She's an Epicattleya, Epidendrum Cattleya cross, and neither Cattleyas nor Epidendrums are necessarily known for that. What I knew was that Epidendrums could create a keiki right here on this growth node, even if it bloomed. So that's why I didn't cut mine. I thought, oh, but keiki, I might enter it in the giveaway, I might, you know, do something with it. This is one of my favorite orchids. I love this orchid. But no, as you can see, mine is blooming from completely new canes. They were produced last year, and as for the old ones, or actually the only old one which bloomed last year, there's nothing going on here. It's still green. I'm holding on to it because of that keiki, which would be awesome to have and to put it in a giveaway. But no, so you guys, if you have the René Marquez, let us know in the comment section if it ever created a brand new flower spike from an old one, or if you know anything about it. It might just be a very lucky glitch that happened to yours. From what I researched, no, they're not sequential bloomers, but as you know, orchids are full of surprises, and if it happened to rebloom again, just enjoy it. Anyway, to give an update on my René Marquez, she is growing like crazy. She's doing spectacular. She is just a very thirsty girl, and I will make a care video on this one as well. Last year when I presented it, I just talked about the flowers because I didn't have first-hand experience with this one. This year I do. She is really the easiest thing to grow, but she's thirsty, very thirsty. So we'll make a care video on this one as well. And one of you wanted to see the Siamese doll Kiwi. Wow, you remember I had her. Well, she's doing great. She looks very nice. She just doesn't want to bloom, but she is growing something new right now. And I'm hoping for the best, but no blooms just yet. This orchid is supposed to look spectacular. It's supposed to smell minty, and I do really want to see it in bloom. she decided it wasn't the time yet. As you can see, the pseudobulbs though are looking good. We have nice 2 leaves, not only one. She's a bifoliate and she's not stressed. She's creating 2 leaves, but no flowers. She's a bit unruly, as you can see, so I'm doing my best to stake the canes or pin them together or things of the sorts. I will need to make a little support, round support, and I think that will look a little prettier than whatever I have here. She's doing great and she looks fantastic. Now, bloom, please, would you? What else do you want? You have light, you have nutrients, you have everything you need. Please bloom now, alrighty? Next up, you wanted to see the Chysis bractensis, and he's doing what he does best, meaning growing. There he is, and P.S. he almost fell from his pot. Or actually everything just kind of wanted to fall, but I was there to catch him, so luckily he fell in my arms, so that's okay. He's a very, very heavy orchid, and I always need to support him. He sits on the top of my shelves, and the canes are always supported. Right now, he is losing his leaves. He's going into the period of his deciduousness. He doesn't take a rest though. This orchid does not take a rest. So no matter if he's losing all of his leaves, you should never give a rest to this guy because he will shrivel like crazy. Stop fertilizing, there's no point, but really no rest. So hopefully in springtime we're gonna have a new flower. This guy blooms on, oh, I see a new growth already. So as I was saying, this guy blooms on new growth. He's producing new shoots, and when the shoot is about 10 centimeters long, it starts to bloom. And I'm seeing he's starting to produce a new shoot here, which is not good. Why do you do this? It's so far away from the medium. You can see all of the roots here. They don't really get much hydration. I will need to do something with this guy. I need to find a way to pot him to make sure that the roots receive moisture. Although, let me take you in on this side. There are many roots in the pot, many roots. So maybe I shouldn't worry too much that the new growth will start to create roots in the air, but still I would really prefer this guy to create shoots from closer to the medium. But no, he's a bit of a climber, to be fully honest with you. If you can see his history prior to me having it, you can see that that's the pattern. So this is the oldest pseudobulb, and then gradually we climb and climb and climb and climb, and that is that. He's a climber, but I still love him. Next up, you wanted to see the Dimorphorchis lowi, and here he is. Remember, this little tip here was the one he kind of came with. You barely could see it inside the crown, and he did grow all of this since last year. Woo! No, he's a very slow grower. I feel like I'm gonna get old until this orchid will be mature enough to bloom, but that's okay. I still enjoy him. He's still my precious little orchid. Thank you, John, so much for sending this to me. So here he is. He's doing okay. Sadly though, the pot has gotten so murky. This is how semi-hydro pots get when they're transparent. It's not my thing. There's nothing to worry about. And if you look at the bottom, we will be able to see quite a lot of roots going on here, which are great. But this algae murkiness is just not for me, you guys. No. So this guy will be placed in a white or colored pot pretty soon, but the transparent pot served its purpose. I know that he is doing great in semi-hydro, he likes it, and the roots are all okay. It's time for him to move though, because it's really not flattering. Again, nothing wrong with it necessarily, it's just me. I have issues, let's just say that. So those were the orchids you wanted to see for the day. As you can see, things are brighter outside. I think I have enough light to go outside today. I'm gonna make an update on all of the plants on the terrace on the gardening channel, which I will share with you down below. In case you don't know it, check it out. If you find it interesting, why not subscribe? So that's what I'm gonna do today. Probably I'm gonna post something on the gardening channel today as well, the updates on the plants. And yeah, things are interesting there as well, so check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and hanging out with me and chatting with me. You know the drill. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for regular orchid videos. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!